used to be solid, not falling apart. Things never not okay when you were mine. You used to be honest, not pulling my heartstrings. Every other day you change your mind. Cause when you're high, you call me like I'm lonely. Some kind of little toy for you to wind up when you land in bed and feeling low.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie and this may look familiar, but that's because it's take 2 of my glass nails video. So I accidentally deleted months worth of video uploads and I was absolutely crushed because it included this video, which was honestly one of my favorites. So in order to kind of make myself feel better, I decided, you know what, I'm going to redo it. So some of the products are going to be the same as the last video. I've got some new favorites that I'll also be using. So the tips I'm going to be using are my medium almond pro gel tips from iGel Beauty. I'm using this new press-on stand that I got from Playground Nails. I've been loving these stands. So we're going to do this over and hopefully you enjoy this the second time around. As always, I'm going to start with a layer of gel base on my tips first before I start with my polish. So I like to apply a layer of gel base first because it helps the gel polish adhere to the tips better, as well as it helps the gel polish apply more evenly and smoothly. So the first gel base I grabbed was my D&D gel base. So I'm just applying a thin, even layer of that to all the tips. And then once I've got that on all the tips, I'm going to go ahead and cure the gel base for 30 seconds before we start this mani. Whenever I'm applying polish to the press-ons, I always want to make sure that I'm doing a thin enough layer to where the polish isn't running on the underside of that tip. Because if it runs on the underside of that tip and I cure it, it could impact the fit of the press-ons when I apply them. So I always make sure that it's thin. And then if I do get polish that runs on the underside, I want to make sure that I'm cleaning that with some isopropyl alcohol before I cure it. Since I've recorded my last video, I've found and fallen in love with the company Function of Vex. I am absolutely obsessed with their products, so I'm going to be using some of them in today's video. So for the glass nails set, I do want to start with a black base. So this is the Gel Polish Black Void, and it's super opaque, one coat coverage gel polish. It applies so evenly. This is my new go-to black just because it is so good. Just wait till you see the coverage I get in just one coat. And their branding is so beautiful. I just love like the studded kind of lids of their bottles. Everything is just like top notch, great quality. I haven't used a product yet from them that I haven't loved. So definitely highly recommend them. But I'm going in, I'm applying one even layer of that black gel polish to all the nails. So all the nails are going to be the same. It's going to be the same process. So I will say this though, as I was painting on my first layer of the polish, what I was realizing is I don't feel like this black gel polish is playing nicely with the D&D gel base. So as I was kind of moving along, I was noticing that the gel polish was kind of separating. So, and that is kind of the risk sometimes if you mix different brands. Most times, it's very rare that I have issues with it. So I'll say most times I don't run into this issue, but just sometimes for whatever reason, brands don't play nicely together. So I was trying to kind of work around it. I was trying to, go over the spots that were separating to see if they would stay. And so I was just trying to work with it. But in the end, I was finding that, I wasn't really happy with the way it was looking, that it was still separating. And so I just decided, you know what? This isn't working. Let me just start over. So I'm just going to take some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free wipe, and I'm going to wipe off that gel polish that I applied. I'm going to wipe off the gel base, and then I'm going to start over just because I really want these nails to look really great, and it wasn't looking great with that separating black gel polish. And this is what I love about working with gel polishes is as long as I don't cure the gel polish, I can do whatever I want. If I mess up, I can wipe it off and start over. Whereas with like a regular nail polish or dip base, I can't really do that. So that's something I really appreciate about working with gel polishes. So anyway, now that I've wiped off all my gel polish, I decided I didn't want to risk it again because I don't have a gel base coat from Function of Vex and I didn't want to risk mixing brands. So I decided instead of gel base, I'm going to go ahead and just buff off the surface of the tips. So I always recommend that when you're doing press-ons, if you're not using a layer of gel base first, to at least buff off the shine of those tips so your gel polish would adhere better. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I'm just taking this buffer block. I have a huge pack off of Amazon. These are my favorite to use just because they're a little bit wider, they're easier to grip, and these I can actually use several times. They're not one-time use, so I do like using them. So I'm just buffing off the shine of all the tips to help my gel polish adhere better. Once I finish buffing off all the shine, I want to make sure that I'm taking a dust brush and removing any of that excess dust because I do not want to get dust in my gel polish. So now I can go back in with my first layer of black void. So I'm going to do one layer of this to all the tips.
Comprehend that we broke up and ended again and again and again and again. Busier and busier, so disorientated. First you want me, then you're busy. Girl, it's not that complicated. Got me tied up in a leash and round and round and round, round. You got me running in a circle. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. What happened to us? Round in a circle. Back where I started, I'm stuck here like glue. You keep me on a loop. I'm just trying to find my way back.
Once I finish with my first layer, I'm going to go ahead and cure the tips for a full 60 seconds. Because the black gel polish is so opaque, I cure it for 60 seconds just to make sure that it's fully cured. So now we're going to get into the cat eye. So I get this off of Amazon. This is May Chow. I don't know if I mispronounced that, but it is such an impressive silver cat eye gel polish. I used this in the last video and I'm going to use it again just because it is so good. After the first video, I actually bought more cat eyes from this brand just because I loved it that much. So you're going to love it too after you see this in action if you didn't see it in the first video. So I'm just applying a thin, even layer of this to my black base, and I'm going to do this to all the nails. Once I get that first layer on, I am not going to cure it. I need to use the magnet to move around the magnetic particles first. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to freeze it by curing it. So for cat eye gel polishes, you want to do one nail at a time because if you let it sit for a long time, the magnetic particles are going to dissipate and you're going to lose your design. So I'm taking the cylindrical magnet, which does come with the gel polish, and I want like that velvet look for the cat eye. Look at how beautiful that is. So I'm just moving it around the perimeter of the nail. So I want to like move those magnetic particles to like the center of the nail. So that's why I'm kind of like moving it around. And you kind of have to like play with the magnetic gel polishes. You kind of, depending on like if you move it closer to the nail or further away from the nail, your magnetic particles are going to react differently. So just kind of move it around, move it closer, move it further away until you kind of get like that look you want. I was having a little too much fun with this, just watching the magnetic particles. I just think it's so beautiful. But what I did find is I felt like these stands were too close to each other, so I didn't have room on the other side. So I'm just going to take it off the stand and hold it and then move it around that way until I get the look that I want, which is this look right here. So I'm going to flash cure it for 30 seconds. And then while it's flash curing, I'm going to move on to the next nail. So it's going to be the same process for all of them. Just apply that gel polish to all the nails. Once you get that even layer on, do not cure it. Use your magnet, move around the particles until you're happy with the way it looks. You don't have to even do it the way I do it. You can make it look like that cat eye look of just that line across. But I like to velvetize it and so move all those pigments to like the center to kind of create that look. So however you want it to look, each nail is going to look different, which makes it really unique and really fun. And I will say this as well, and then I'll just let you watch, is you don't have to do a black base underneath the cat eye. You don't have to do any base color at all if you don't want. So the black is going to make the silver pop. You can do other colors as well and it would look different, or you could do no color at all and then you may just need more layers of the silver cat eye polish to make the silver pop a little bit more and be more opaque. But it's however you want it to look, but this is how I'm doing it for this video.
I used to respect you, thought I was enough. Yeah, it feels like half a century ago. Guess you keep coming back after telling me off without even fitting sorry between goodbye and hello again. Thought we could grow again, how about no again, again and again. I'm trying to tell you we can't be friends. Struggling to comprehend that we broke up and ended again and again and again. And I'm getting busier and busier, so disorientated. First you want me, then you're busy. Girl, it's not that complicated. Got me tied up in a leash and round. Got me running in a circle. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. What
I am so obsessed with this cat eye, I could watch it forever. But once I finished with all the nails, I cured that for 30 seconds. And so now I'm going to top them with a jelly gel. I want to make sure that it's a jelly gel so you can see the cat eye underneath. So this is JG9 Purple Amethyst. This is from iGel Beauty. It's one of my favorite jelly polishes because it's just such a pretty purple. And you know me in purple, I love it. So the thing I love about this look is depending on the angle of your nail and the lighting, sometimes it just looks like purple nails. But then as you shift your nails, as the lighting changes, you start to see like the movement of the cat eye underneath. And it's just really cool how it kind of creates that like see-through glass-like look. It just is really neat. And I love that you can do it like any different colors of the gel polish, the jelly gels on top. You can make it look differently. And I did create a video after this on creating my own jelly gels. I may or may not redo it. It's one of the deleted ones. Like I think the past 2 or 3 months videos, like all of them got deleted. So I'm going to have to pick and choose which ones I redo, which ones I don't. I did enjoy doing the creating my own jelly gels. It just took a little bit longer to do. So I don't know. I may try and redo it at some point, but just know that you can create your own jelly gels to make any colors you want. You don't have to go out and buy like 50 jelly gel polish colors. You can make your own just by mixing some of your regular gel polishes with some gel base. And then you just have to make sure you get the right ratio because you don't want to apply too much. You always want to start with small batches because the more polish you apply, before you know it, you have way too much polish to use. So there's just like little nuances to that. So TBD on whether I do another video on that or not.
Loop. I used to respect you, thought I was enough. Yeah, feels like half a century ago. Guess you keep coming back after telling me off, without even feeling sorry between goodbye and hello again. Thought we could grow again, how about no again, again and again.
Once I finished with my layer of the jelly gel polish, I cured that for 30 seconds, and now I want to top off my set with my gel top coat. So this is from Function of X as well. This is their high def gloss gel top coat, and I love how super shiny it is. It's really easy to use, but the one thing I will say about it, it is a little bit thicker than a normal gel polish. It's not super thick, but it isn't super thin as well. So I just want to make sure that I'm applying a thin, even layer of this to all the nails. I did all the nails, but I only showed you the two just because I know it's a little bit repetitive. And once I finish with that gel polish on top, I'm going to turn my stand upside down to let the gel polish level and even out. So about 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less. But once I've got that, I'm going to pop that in my lamp and give it a full cure for 60 seconds. I applied my press-ons off camera, and as always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles with my Scales of Mermaid cuticle oil. This is Let's Get Boozy, which is an older scent that I just recently discovered, and I've been obsessed with it just because it's a light, fresh scent. And honestly, after deleting all those months of video and hard work, that's how I was feeling. I felt like I wanted to go drink after that, but I'm trying to put it in perspective. There are worse things that could happen. I know it's hard work, but they're just videos, so I'll be fine. I just need a little bit of time. So here is the finished look, and honestly, I love it just as much as I did the first time, and I'm definitely glad I redid it because it is still one of my favorites. So if you're still here, thank you for hanging out with me. Drop me a purple heart down below in the comments. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this. It also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.